to summarize 5 insights, I guess, from those interviews that relate to the enterprise. One is, as an organization, we need to be disruption aware. And disruption aware means, having a pulse on what's happening in the industry, having a pulse on what's happening with our customers, and more importantly, just being aware that you don't even know what your next competitor will look like, right? So that's where disruption will truly come from. The second one, I already touched on it. It's innovation from the edge, right? You can't expect to get different results if you create a different business unit, call it something else, throw some beanbags and say you can wear jeans. Now, I don't know if you guys do that, so I'm not making fun of you if you are, but my point is it truly has to have the environment, the right mindset, and was that an indicator that I'm going over time? Or did I just say something wrong? So innovation from the edge, right? So think about how you can break away things that you want to do from an innovation perspective that's not tied up with your everyday business. And your everyday business needs the rigor, needs the governance. So does innovation. Innovation needs governance. You can't just let it go alone and with no accountability. But it can't have the same red tape as your traditional core business. Collaboration is key. By bringing people in on the journey, back to the tell everybody, back to there's different people that can add value to what you're wanting to create. Collaboration is key inside an enterprise. Now, of course, there's a dichotomy there, right? Because on the one hand, you go, well, if I start telling that person and that division, and by the time we wait for them to be available to meet, and then we have to, it takes a long time to invite everyone in. So I get that. I'm not suggesting it's simple, because startup land has its own challenges, and of course, enterprise has its own challenges when you're wanting to innovate. But if you can have the right type of players and collaboration, not only internally, but with the startup community, with other organizations globally. There is a lot of co-opetition going on now rather than competition, right? So think about that in an open way. It helps the entire ecosystem, lift itself. Nurture learning, which means be prepared for running experimentation and not knowing what the outcome is. And sometimes the outcome is no result, no result, no result, no result. That's part of the process. And your people have to feel safe. Your team leaders have to feel safe from the C-level, and the C-level has to feel safe from the board that they've got coverage to go experiment and potentially find nothing for a while. I can't just say to you, right, innovate now. You can't. Too much pressure. No innovation was created in a finite space of time. It's not like even with the technology projects that we think we know all the knowns, we can't deliver on time, on budget, let alone something that we're saying is going to be truly remarkable. So, manage that. And finally, we have to walk the talk. There is no point just saying we want to be innovative. There's no point in running a codathon or saying, hey, we've got a suggestions box, or virtual or otherwise, but they're not following it through, not doing something with it. So when I wear my other hat, being the CEO of Contexti, and I talk about data and data analytics, and I talk to data scientists at universities. In fact, I was doing mine yesterday at UTS. One of the recommendations I give them is I say, ask for the action. Like, where's the action? If I find this great insight, what are we going to do with it? Where's it going to end up? How do we make sure that it's actually going to move the needle from a value perspective? So the same is true here. As leaders, you need to make sure that you walk the talk and create the environment that you follow through on opportunities, ideas, recognition, and things like that.